Good day, I am Michelle and Trinidad from BSE 1C, and for this video I'm going to present 10 real-life problems where measures of variability can be applied. Variability is also referred to as spread, scatter, or dispersion. It is most commonly measured in range, standard deviation, and variance. And with these tools, we will discuss those 10 real-life problems. First is in using range. For example, in reading a book and you wrote down how many pages you read each day. You could take the range from putting the number of pages in order from least to greatest and subtract the smallest value from the greatest value. Using measures of variability, you can identify the range of the books you read. The second is a teacher recording the test scores of his students. For him to be able to identify the range of the difference between the highest and the lowest of the test scores, he will use the method of range in measuring the data. First is gathering the data or the scores of the student, then organize the scores from least to greatest, then subtract the smallest score from the largest test score. The third use of range in real-life problem is calculating the amount of time that has passed, like when calculating your age. Another way of measuring variability is calculating the standard deviation. An example of situation using standard deviation is our fourth problem, which is grading tests. A class of students took a math test. Their teacher wants to know whether most students are performing at the same level, or if there is a high standard deviation. Fifth in using standard deviation is in the results of a survey. A market researcher is analyzing the results of a recent customer survey that ranks a product from 1 to 10. He wants to have some measure of reliability of the answers received in the survey in order to predict how a larger group of people might answer the same questions. In this situation, by using the tool standard deviation, the researcher now knows that the results of the sample size are probably reliable. Sixth is in weather forecasting. You can also use the standard deviation of measures of variability to compare sets of data. For example, a weather reporter is analyzing the high temperature forecasted for two different cities. A low standard deviation would show a reliable weather forecast. The seventh is measuring height. A person wants to gain height will monitor his or her current height and will compare to her previous height. Eighth one is comparing the cost of the products in grocery store and in supermarket. The ninth problem is in using variance. Investors use variance to see how much risk an investment carries and whether it will be profitable. Variance is also used to compare the relative performance of each asset in a portfolio to achieve the best asset allocation. And the last one is the variance in population. It is used for how much a specific measurement is expected to vary in a given population. If the measurement varies widely from individual to individual, it will have a high variance. Whereas, if the measurement only varies by a small amount, it will have a small variance. And that's all for this video. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching.